guard. I'm only going to show one escape that we've done before. But in the beginning, right, we want to make sure we have the posture right. So when we're feeding these to our partner, we're intentionally making a mistake, and I want you to be real clear on the mistake that you're making, right? So we'll go through posture first. Number one, I want my knees pointed this way. If your knees are a little wider like this, it's much easier when he pulls to bring me forward, and I don't really need to worry about my base this way right now, so my knees need to be forward, okay? And then you guys know the big thing here is to tuck my tailbone, right? Tucking my tailbone, arching my back. So that way now when he pulls, he's not going to bring me forward at all, right? Even if he's big, he can do a sit-up, but he won't be able to knock me forward. For him to knock me forward, first he's got to break that arch in my back, and then you will fall. So if you prevent that arch from occurring by tucking your tailbone, they're not going to bring you forward, right? And my shoulders need to stay over my hips. You don't want to lean back. Then it creates an opening for him. So that's my lower body, right? My upper body, my shoulders are pulled back. So my tailbone's tucked, my shoulders are pulled back, so if he pulls on my arm, he's my whole structure, right? If my shoulders roll forward, when he pulls, then it's more muscle, right? So it's like this. And then no gi, it's here. Obviously with gi, we grip, right? So this is our structure. And then I'm going to intentionally, if I'm just here, go for an armbar. There's no way he can armbar me here, right? This arm is inside, right? Blocking that out, this is here. There's no good armbar when you have posture. There's no submissions at all, right? So I'm defending, and then I'm going to intentionally give him, that's an arm lock. Person reaches up here to your throat or brings their hands too high. I've given Liam an arm bar. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to show two ways to do this arm lock. And arm bars from guard bottom are hard, okay? When we're on top, they're stuck because the ground, it makes it a lot easier to submit them. When you're upside down like this, it's a lot trickier, okay? So if you're a white belt or even a blue belt, you don't have to do both these. You can pick one, and you don't have to worry so much about the submission. You can, or about the counter I'm going to show you. You can just keep focusing on drilling the submission, okay? So I'll give you two ways to do this. First, he makes his mistake. He's going to really reach up, okay? And give me an arm lock. Yeah, move. Yeah, good, like that. Good. First way's here. And then that's my arm lock, okay? So all I'm doing there is I'm coming up and I'm covering his shoulder and I'm looking in his ear, like this, okay? And what's important here is see how my heels are to my butt, my hip is up, right? So pull your arm out, so his arm is trapped. And then I can bring it over here to break the arm. So that's one motion. Okay. Another one we can do, step by step, I'm going to grab his arm like this, my foot goes to the hip, and I use that to pivot, and then this leg is across the back, and then I go here. Okay. That's it. The other one I did was just two motions. This one is 1, 2, 3 or 4 steps. Okay. So again, you're grabbing the arm, you're controlling, foot goes to the hip. And what's really important here, the part that people don't pay a bunch of attention to, is that it's my back leg that makes the arm bar not work, not this one. This is what's keeping him from raising up. This is what's making it so he can't pull his arm out. This is just for the finish, right? But this is the leg that matters. If this leg was down here, like this, it wouldn't matter what I do with this leg. He's just got a giant hole and he'll just pull his arm out, okay? So whether we do the first method or the second method, this is the leg you got to pay attention to, okay? So I want you guys just to practice. You can do one or both of those. Just practice doing an arm bar from closed guard bottom. Have good posture and then feed it to your partner. Don't resist, just do it. Try and do it mechanically correct and then we'll counter in a minute, okay? Go ahead. The mistake I see people make with the arm locks a lot, and upper belts will do this, is it's always a pivot, not a shrimp, okay? So a shrimp is, that's a shrimp, right? Where we're using our feet to push our hips away. And when we're shrimping, our hips are kind of coming sideways. Pivot is like this, right? So when I go for the arm bar, if I shrimp and my hips are askew like this, then it's hard to get the leg over the head, right? Or worse, I'm in this position and now there's a giant gap for Liam to pull his arm out. So even if he was picking me up in the air, right, and I was in the air, I'd still want my hips level with the mat like that. So it's just a pivot, right? When you're on there, you're just turning like this. You don't want your hips to go this way or that way. It's the same thing for a triangle, which you'll do in a minute. But if I go for a triangle and I'm like this, hard to lock my legs, right? Like this, hard to lock my legs. Here, easy. So it's always, hips need to be parallel, okay? Keep going. And don't worry if you're having trouble getting an arm lock from them. They're hard to do, and most people don't start pulling them off in sparring and they're purple belts. Unless you have a person who just makes an egregious error. Okay. One other thing, the first thing that a person's going to do when you go to armbar is they're going to stack you. Okay, that's just natural. So he's either going to pull his arm out, if he's a strong guy, pull his arm out, or he's going to stack me, right? And try and bring my knees to my nose, this way. Good. So, with that, if my feet are crossed, pull your arm up. I take all the pressure off his head, so that makes it easy for him to pull his arm out. Plus, come back, stack. Very hard for me to fight the stack, okay? So what I want is I want this heel to my butt and towards the top of his head, right? So that pulls my hip up, pull your arm out, and now go to stack. Right? The more he stacks, the more I bring my heel to the ground. Even if I switch with Liam, yes, because as long as that's tilted, I can't stack it, okay? So you want to have, we're going to counter it in a minute, but I want you to have a good armbar. You want to have that pressure. Heel to your butt, angle off towards the top of their head, okay? A couple more times. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell for frequent updates because we're updating this every week, and make sure you comment and like and share our videos. We appreciate it, and we definitely try and respond to all the comments. And if you like what we're doing and you like the material, check out SBG University, SBGU, and you're going to see a ton more in much greater depth than what you see here on YouTube. Thank you very much.